And I think, again, let's do it together. I figured, again, it'd be good for, to show you guys how to make these charts. I figured it wouldn't hurt. I know the book shows how to make what's called a histogram. We'll see that shortly. You could do that through a TI-83 calculator. Again, I'm not asking you to, I didn't ask you guys to buy one because, again, I want to make the course as materials as cheap as possible. So that's why I like Google Sheets. So anyway, so this data frequency table, right? I have to type it in. So let me just. So I'm going to type it in now. Let me share my screen. Beautiful. Here it comes. I hope. Yep, there it is. Good. Okay, so again, I'm going to type in the data. My notes. Here we go. All right, so here. So we have football. This is from before. We have 4. Soccer is 4. Baseball is 2. Cheerleading is 4. I just changed the numbers around, so that's the only difference. All right. So now to actually make this stuff, to make the the charts. Make a bar graph, for instance. Remember, you want to highlight the data. Go to Insert, where it says Chart. Okay. Okay, that's a pie chart. It's not what we want yet. So again, for us, a bar chart is what Google Sheets calls a column chart. As you can see, this is what we get. Okay, so that's what we got here. Not bad. All right, the bar graph. Okay, now to make it into a Pareto chart, right? The only difference we have to do is sort the data, the frequency that is, excuse me. We have to sort it from biggest to smallest. I mean, it doesn't look, we could probably just do it by hand if we wanted to. Because you can see, hopefully you can see that if we had to change basketball and baseball, excuse me, and well, let's just let Google Sheets do it. That's what I was planning on. I really don't want to deviate from my lecture notes. So we go to data, right? And again, we have column B. If you did sheet, I think it would do the same thing, or range, because this is the only stuff in our Google Sheet, so to say. So sheet or range would work. You want to do Z through A, though. Z is like the biggest, A is the smallest. I mean, if you did choose the wrong one, right, it would just go the other way. So let's choose from Z through A. There we go. Okay. Good. Okay. But now we have our Pareto chart. Okay. As you can see, the first 4 they all have 4, so it's the same height. In baseball and cheerleading, they're both at 2. Okay. Now for the pie chart, okay, what I also do is this. If I were to click on Insert Chart and then Insert Chart again, I can make another chart. And it gave me a pie chart automatically. Nice. So this is what we have. This is our pie chart. Let me just move this over. Move this. But now you can see the pie chart we have. And again, if we want to make it look nicer, you can go to Customize, Pie Chart. And on the labels, right, we can put, I mean, you could actually see the relative frequencies under the categories here. 20% under football. We could also put it in the slides like this, and their value as well. See? And if you wanted to also, you can also scroll down to where it says legend, position. Put it on the left or the right, as you can see. Another way to do it. Okay. Again, I don't know everyone's math background, so I like to err on the side of caution. All right. Are there any questions about that? Yeah, it's got to be a lot easier than drawing it by hand. So. Let's see. So what happens if I make it 3D? No. I was just trying something. Never mind that. All right. Let me get back to the notes again. No. Not my camera. I'm sharing my camera now. There we go. Okay. All right. For some reason, I clicked on share camera by mistake, but I stopped it. So, okay. So we're still recording. That's good. All right. So let's move on to the next. Let's move on in the lecture. Here we go. So of course, not only do you want to be able to create these kinds of graphs, you really want to be able to read from them as well. I think that's really what the book emphasizes anyway. Well, anyway, let's read the graph. So notice here we have a bar graph. Okay. It actually is giving us, as you can see on the left, it's not giving us the frequency. It's giving us the relative frequency. The relative frequency, okay? So it's percentage. So in this example, we have the percentage of students who received a letter grade on their last English paper. So these students got an A, these students got a B, and so on. And what it's saying here is 25%, this is halfway between 20 and 30, right? So, okay, so let's say it's 25%. I mean, sometimes you have to estimate a bit, but not always. Okay, so 25% got an A. Excuse me. About, 35% got a B, and so on. Now, if there are 40 students, then how many students received an A? 25% did. So really what we have to figure out is, what is 25% of 40? Of course, I have that over here. No, not that. There we go. Right? That's really what the question is asking. What is 25% of 40? Well, that's the same as 0.25 times 40. I mean, you could do 25 over 100 times 40. That's the same as 0.25 times 40. You end up with 10. So 10 students got an A. You want to make sure you're reading the graph correctly. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's one example. Again, this was relative frequency, which is the same as percent. Here's another one with a pie graph. So in this case, we have this person who's had to turn my heat on. Where I am, it's kind of cold. But so here we have Mary, who is, it looks like she's categorizing how much she spends in a month. And the 4 categories, as you can see here, are fun, food, rent, and other. We can see that. Let's say, okay, so but notice we're giving in percentage though, like 24% of her spending was on fun, 34% was on other, and so on. Let's suppose that she spent a total of $2,800. So we're just assuming that, okay? She spent a total of $2,800. Okay, so that was the total for the whole month. So that assumption, 24% of that was on fun, 16% of it was on, what is that? That's food. And they want to know how much did she spend on rent. She spent 26% on rent, right? So we want to know, what is 26% of 2,800? That's what this is. Right? All we do is we just do 0.26 times 2,800, which is 728. That's all. So it's just a simple percentage problem and reading a pie chart. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, are there any questions about these examples? So what we did so far actually was qualitative data. In other words, we displayed qualitative data, using a frequency table, using a bar graph, that kind of stuff. Excuse me. Now, we want to consider quantitative data. Quantitative data, remember, that data is numerical in nature, and so you can do more calculations with it. For instance, you can consider numerical scores on an exam or a quiz out of 10. You can get scores like 5, 8, 9, 1, 2, that kind of stuff. But those numbers you can do numerical calculations on. It makes sense to get the average. It makes sense to get the, the maximum score, the minimum score, that kind of stuff. Now, we could